How to deal with heartbreak. We can all agree we messed up. We can all agree we fucked up, especially from the male perspective. You saw it coming miles away. You saw she was unhappy. She said you should stop. You still persisted. And as a consequence, you've lost the relationship, crying your eyes out. And all of those actions, all of those rebellion, where did it lead you? Right back to me. Today we are going to talk about heartbreak. I know I've already stated that, but I want to reaffirm the subject of this discourse. As I mentioned earlier, I do not script my content. All of this is from the heart. So I initially remind myself the objective of the discourse. Am I just speaking in order to fill the minute? Am I just speaking in order to pass time? I always ensure at every moment, every single thing spoken, every word that proceeds from my mouth must converge at the objective. So we are talking on how to get over heartbreak. First of all, from the male side, it's your fault. Let me not get way ahead of myself. But heartbreak, you saw the red flag, you saw every single thing, but it's not that you lack courage. It's not because you are indisciplined. For most, they sustain a scarcity mentality, what I call a scarcity mindset. They believe because of the amount of effort they put into getting this lady, they use ChatGPT, watch tons of tutorials, and they have no idea to replicate this result. As a consequence, they are prepared to deal with the bullshit in order to keep her. Unfortunately, women are not logical. They are emotionally driven. So it's a man who is able to observe. This guy did XYZ for me. He upgraded my lifestyle. He flew me to Maldives for holidays. He got me this kind of bag. He got me a birthday. Therefore, let me put up with his character. No, that's not what women, that's not how women think. Well, I didn't force you to do all that for me. Everywhere becomes blurry. What? And unfortunately, most men understand this perfectly, that once you've invested in a woman, it's very difficult to pull your investment out. It's not like you can sell the stock. You can't deprive her of the various images. You can't deprive her of the holidays experience. You can't deprive her of XYZ. So people over leverage themselves. As a consequence, put her on a pedestal. All you're doing, if that's your situation, is appeasing the alligators with a hope to get eaten last. It never works. All you're doing is delaying the progress, delaying the inevitable. So people over leverage themselves. My friend, you must know when to cut your loss. In fact, let me not dwell on this point, scarcity mentality. If that's something you want to enjoy, I made a whole video talking about scarcity mindset and how to circumvent. So make sure you check it out. Another reason why most people do not spot heartbreak in advance is their belief that it's impossible. So either this is their first relationship or this is the first spouse or partner they actually like. So as a consequence, they are willing to overlook some lapses in their behavior. Although consistent, they foolishly delude themselves. He's going to change or she's going to change. As a matter of time, as their parameters of insanity and the blurriness of boundaries increase, You are forced to get to a point where you have to call it off. Yes, and I admire your virtue of focusing more on the good than the bad. However, there are boundaries, there are key values, and if the person keeps breaking, if the person keeps crossing that impasse, you have to call it off. It never ends well. It never ends well. Heartbreak. That mindset that empowers heartbreak. There's something else I want to discuss. One of the things you should never do, you should never do while ending a relationship or responding to an ended relationship is to go on a tantrum, tell her you never see anyone like me, make promises, hate the spouse, or raise your voice. No, she calls it off. Be respectful, be polite, and leave. Never speak to her again. And why this is difficult, although it's common sense, you know this is exactly what you should do because you retain your respect. She's used to people begging and trying to ask her back, and you're that top 1% who says, you know what, I understand, have a nice life, and you walk away. The reason majority can't pull this off is not because it's impossible, but because their life is so shit that their happiness is tied to that spouse, and she knows it. Find a way to fill those time with positive activities. If you're not going to the gym, start going to the gym. Start learning a new skill, a new language. Try to get your money up. If you don't have a second job, you should take one. So engage in financial literacy. Try to build your finances, your personal development. Try to up your confidence, and you'll be fine. So not only will those activities improve you as an individual, but it will inadvertently take your mind off the breakup. So this is the positive channel to handle a breakup. In fact, every single thing engaged in is to take your mind off it for you to move on. The same thing with drugs. Drugs takes your mind off it. Only that it solves a problem while creating a new one. That solution is temporary. Heartbreak, heartbreak, level up. Then they come back, they come back, they come back. That's how you level up. Understand that as a man, you're on your endless upward trajectory. You're on your incline, she's on her decline. In 5 years from now, if you do every single thing I have said, you'll be more valuable to the dating market, you'll be more valuable to your friends, you'll be more valuable to the marketplace in general than your counterpart. A little wrinkles here and there, she's not as pretty as she used to. Exactly. So that's the best thing to do. That's I gave you 2 points. First, how to spot and act accordingly before a heartbreak happens. The second, how to heal from a heartbreak. The third, how to remain consistent to get to that point of healing. Now, this point, if you forget it, chances are excellent you never get to number two. If you don't get to number two, then this teaching is absolutely useless. Before you get to healing, all of those things I mentioned are going to be difficult. There are times where you are confronted with a headwind. What I mean by headwind is a kind of air that impedes forward motion. In the process of lifting weight, perhaps you're going to get hurt. Perhaps you have this wrong workout day. Perhaps you tear a muscle in a dangerous manner. But I do not wish that upon you. But I'm a businessman. And as a businessman, I consider all possibilities. There are times where you want to give up. You want to stop. In those moments, I implore you, remember why you started. And as always, my friends, it's a pleasure speaking to you. I'll see you in the next one.